conversation around unrealistic portrayal of men in the media, which I really want to hear your thoughts on that, because I've seen women complain a lot about about objectification in like music videos. You have a woman there dancing next to a car randomly. Like, why are you twerking next to this car? Like,
and I don't know why these women like doing that. They're being objectified and they don't see.
If you think about it reasonably, okay, it's nice to look at, but why that car?
Yeah.
But so now the question is, does that also happen to men?
It does. There are very many people. I'll say most people sex ed was through what? The internet and movies at best.
Magazines long time ago.
Yeah, but even now, people are, like, one of the things about the conference from 3-4 weeks ago, ICPD conference, and people are saying, they're going to introduce sexual education for our children. I'm like, yeah. People are like, no, you should wait till they're 16. I'm like, okay.
That's late.
Kids are sexually active at 9. You're doing sex ed, what,
16?
8
7
years
years
later? Doesn't make sense. So in the scope of a country where in a space where parents don't talk to you about sex, parents don't talk to you about defining all these things, people find their definitions by watching movies. Let's tell you some of the jokes. Like, we used to watch Jackie Chan as Jackie Chan was the guy. Jackie Chan, Bruce Lee, Danny, those were the people we watched. And you'd assume that there's no, media isn't harmless. Everything you listen to eventually leads you somewhere. And people don't see the connection between the way people define manhood and keeping quiet and things like those. And suddenly now people don't think that's possible. So but most media, no one, when you look at your TV heroes, they're always strong, they're always fast, they're always this, always that. They don't talk about their problems. Very few times now have movies started bringing depictions of people differently.
Like a real life depiction.
Yeah, and most of them are not in real. It's like one of the best movies I've watched this year, The Joker. My goodness. The Joker is a 10 over 10.
I haven't seen it yet. I'd relate to Breaking Bad.
Yeah.
Breaking Bad had, like, there are these stories where the script is about the problems this guy is going through.
Yeah.
So there's this guy called Jesse Pinkman in Breaking Bad who was always, like, even me, I was afraid watching the series because you're like, he's happy now, but in a few seconds he'll be in deep problems, right? So do you think now those are now the realistic depictions of how, like, day-to-day life is? Like me, I've left the studio, it's very nice and glammy, but I get to Mlolongo, I get a tire bust or something.
Yeah.
So do you think now, like, the media should bring, like, the more realistic depictions of life?
Yeah. But the question is, people usually question, do people want to watch reality, right? They live reality.
Yes.
Unapananga matatu, unena nyumbani, and you're not looking to go watch movies watu wamepanda matatu kaa wewe. Unataka wenye wako na gari, wanishimisha, unataka. It's usually the argument, because it's usually a back and forth over would people watch a realistic depiction of life. One of the biggest changes in, like, African American movies, people like Will Smith, a lot of that acting in that space changed racial views. Right? There are spaces where someone like, he's problematic, but he changed many things. Bill Cosby in many ways changed the media perception of how you could be a middle class black man with your kids going to successful schools and all this. Before that, it wasn't possible.
Yes.
People didn't see it as possible. In fact, a friend's professor, though in the States, just looked at it and said, this movie isn't realistic. You have a black family with 2 working middle class parents.
And he happens to be a doctor.
Yeah. It was impossible.
I like what Emmanuel and you have brought to the fore about what the media on what our movies are bringing to the fore. Do you feel that has brought pressure to the man himself? Because with giving the story of the Bill Cosby, he's hardworking, he's the bill payer, he's the protector, he's the provider. Do you feel there's pressure amongst men with the narrative that is going around in advertisement? Because you were right to say we do not want to see reality in our movies, in our ads. We want to see that picture perfect. Do you think it gives pressure to the man who's like looking for a job out there or trying to manage to just be the father, the mentor, and all that?
Yeah, because there's some things that would think of, like Will Smith's what was that movie with his son? I forgot. But anyway, yeah, because you started.
I'll get the name.
Yeah, those are one of the
Yes,
the best
I
Will
cried.
Smith movies I watched, right? But it was relatable.
Yes.
The thing is that over a while, I think people realize that people might want relatable content, but at high quality. Because most of what people watch, people don't watch Hollywood movies as much in Kenya. They do, but a bit. Most viewership is at local programs.
Yes.
And so that's why I usually challenge that people don't watch reality. Is that a lot of programs around, depending on the station you watch in a citizen Kenya, they're extremely
And a lot of African
local
content.
programs.
I saw some statistics.
Yeah.
There's a lot of African content
So-
from Nollywood to South Africa
And
and East Africa.
people watch it. I think the problem is this: people assume that you don't want to watch the local things and local ninis, but people eventually, when you watch some kid on TV and you have relatable problems kwa hiyo matatu, kwa makanga, kwa this, kwa that, you eventually can. The question is, over how long can you do it? Can you do it high quality enough? But also in many ways, you can be a filmmaker with, you have your own politics. Someone like Shonda Rhimes is the best example.
I love that woman.
Shonda is queen. She is king. She's everything.
She's the goddess for me when it comes to movies and
She's
things.
a queen
And I know
of
people-
Thursday night.
Yes.
4 series
And
on
they are-
Thursday night.
Yes.
Prime time. But if you look at a lot of Shonda Rhimes movies, Shonda has her own politics, right? Shonda has her own LGBT politics.
Yes.
Shonda has American this politics. Shonda talks about healthcare. Shonda talks about all these.
And women's rights.
And women's rights.
Yes.
You don't have to be boring to do it, but she's figured out a way of inculcating her politics into the movies that she has. Now that's a bit more of what I'd like to see, especially from local content. It's amazing. And not local content because it's produced, more mainstream media content is what I'd like to see. You have politics, not politics, but your own politics in terms of worldview, what you like to change, all these things.